kind of music. You know, it was all kind of music. So I'm a big oldies fan too. Most of the time, if I'm not playing a selective CD in my car, it's usually 106.5, I believe, the oldies radio. That's my thing too. Is the Southern hip hop and the oldies.
I love hip hop too in general, just the whole culture. Cause I listen to a lot of up north music. Cause down south didn't get a lot of shine on TV, Rap City. So that's what I got influenced mostly by up north music. Cause it was accessible, easier than what Southern music would be. Just cause we ain't got no record label buildings. I can't walk downtown and see Def Jam or something, Universal. So it wasn't really accessible to us as it is to them.
Yes.
But it teaches us more business. Like from our aspect, you got to work hard because you don't have this outlet. So you got to know everything. You got to get your publishing right. You got to get your company right. You got to get your infrastructure correct. How you gonna make beats? Where you gonna get beats from? They don't have 10,000 producers walking around. So you got to do it on your own sometimes. Who gonna record you? I can't afford to pay these high studio prices all the time. Get my own studio, get my own equipment, do your own network. So it teaches you the business versus just walking outside and say, I want you to sign me because I'm tight. So I appreciate being from the South and the opportunity that we have because it's harder, but in the end, it's going to pay off big.
The South also created, I always notice, something I noticed, the parental advisory sticker seemed to be created by the South.
Uncle Luke.
And it's because the South has more rage. It's because of the history. The South is more aggressive. And, so that's why I was less accessible because the parental advisor sticker seemed to come out with Southern rap.
If I ain't see the sticker, I ain't even want the CD. To be honest. If it had, I don't want it. I want to hear the real deal. Holyfield. I remember having to hide my Outkast CD.
Because of the cover.
Yeah, because of Naked Lady. But it wasn't just a naked lady. Like she was projecting.
Nubian.
In a Nubian way.
Yeah.
She had no afro, beautiful, just strong. It wasn't. She on a stripper pole, butt naked, just shaking. It was in a creative way. Like I said, it's the same, but it's flipped.
She even had the green tears coming out.
Yeah.
Was that Aquemini or was that a different one of the early
all
ones?
Of them
all
have now the first one was pretty visual, but the second one, AT Aliens, was very. It was very visual. I opened up the cover.
I got it for Christmas. I was like, man, I can't even show this
I opened up that cover. Oh my goodness! Like, and she was fine too.
But they all like paintings. It's all artwork.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful thing.
And it was her portraying being an alien, being foreign. That's what the tears were about. The green tears. When you see Elliot move, that's what it was. That was the depiction of it. Her being hurt because you couldn't be related to.
Yeah, because you were an outcast.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Southern music was. You were an outcast.
Yeah.
You ain't bebopping or breakdancing. We can't feel you.
Yeah.
But then they go to New York and win, and that broke down a barrier. Yeah. So they really did. To me, Outkast deserves, an award just for standing tall.
Yeah.
Because they paved the way, honestly. Because like they said, there was only 6 of them in New York, and there's nothing but hip hop heads, and they were young. They don't realize they were basically kids. Yep. Now I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
So when I think back at 18, you 19, think you grown, 20. But you still a kid.
Yeah.
You still a child. They were young and still held the flag and went through the war with it. So to them, they deserve an applause from me. So I commend them on highest level of respect and goody mob.
Musically. Also, anything else you want to add or you want to know?
No, definitely.
Musically also, our background really consists of blue collar. Like, it doesn't represent the gangster. And this is kind of where I feel like I kind of, excel at. Is being that voice. It's being out in front. It's walking a certain way. It doesn't depict the gangster. It doesn't depict the nerd. It doesn't depict any of that because we tend to see like 2 extremes. You're either a skateboard for real guy. It's cool. I ain't knocking none of that. Lupe Fiasco. I love Lupe, but it's what's the guy? B.O.B. You fall in these ranges. Most Def. Or you either got a guy that's, Pimp C or T.I., and it's no middle. They'll have you thinking that it's not regular people. When it's plenty of people that grow up in the urban areas that don't want violence. They don't want to fight.
Yeah.
They don't want to sell dope. They don't want to sleep with different women. They don't want any of that stuff.
Yeah,
they want the normal life
yeah.
that anybody else want. And I think we really depict that and have since day one. Even at 19 or 20 years old, it wasn't like an average 19 or 20 year old.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Based upon the music we listen to.
Right.
Like I say, basically hip hop culture and just being raised where you're from.
Right.
It just shows you different elements of life. Like I said, he from a different side of town from me. I'm a different side from him. But we still got some of the same common knowledge. Just based upon, just being a person.
Yeah.
And your development, your environment.
Yeah.
So it's all good from there. But the music is really getting better, and it's at a stage where we just doing what we want to do, which we always have. But it's not. It's breaking down structure, like they said, like it is what it is. The verse is too long or whatever. Who decides the structure of a song? Like you listen to James Brown. Before it was James Brown, they say, well, James
No
Brown
verses.
did it. It was no James Brown. He was the first. He's just scatting most of the song.
Yeah.
Hit me. Give it to me. Break it down. Like nobody
Yelling
said,
and
James,
screaming.
I need 16 bars from you, James. And you gonna stop doing all this and make me a single. Who decides what a single is?
Yeah.
Everyone's an authority, even on your own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, who decides a single? Because
Yeah.
nowadays, like my thing with the radio is like I don't have a problem with the music. Like I said, I'm from Florida. We got Uncle Luke, you know what I'm saying, 2 Live Crew. Now 69 boys. We know club music. So it's not the problem with the radio playing club music. It's the problem with they're not playing music with substance also. Because when I was growing up,
Right.
we had songs with substance and party music.
Mhm.
So it's not really the people that's making it. We gonna always need something to party to. I can't get G
Yeah.
listening. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The KRS-One. You know what I mean?
Right,
I
right,
need something to
right.
get loose with. But put some substance in the music too.
That's
Or
what-
at least in media.
And that goes back to what I was saying before we went on air. You, as an artist, I hate the term, like I said, I hate to hear people say it's just music. I really hate that with a passion because it's not just music. Like I was just telling these fellas, when you're buying art, you'll consider music art, right? You consider visual art, right? Well, if that's the case, like I was telling these fellas, I wouldn't buy a Van Gogh that wasn't painted by Van Gogh. So in other words, I don't want to buy an artist that isn't who he say he is. So it's not about, it's just like you say, it's not, we need all of that stuff. JT Money, when I was really in depth in the rap music, was one of my favorite rappers. It was him and Big Gipp. 2 totally different rappers as far as concept. But the reason I had so much interest in a guy like JT Money because it was real. This was really what was going on. This was really what he was talking about. Not nowhere near the right thing, but the reality is I'm tapping into a world that's real. Yeah. You know, I don't want to, and that's how we get a big misconception on anybody can do music now because it's just music. Well, that's what made you an art. That's what made you an artist. How do you think the Tupac frenzy started? Or how do you think the Chuck D and Public Enemy frenzy started? Because that's really who they were as far as the way that their music was put out and their lyrics and how they felt and the intellect. That's really who they were. That's how the frenzy started. Tupac, he wasn't afraid to tell you that, you know, he think his girl is doing this and that with his boys. He said, oh my goodness, most stars don't make themselves seem vulnerable. Yeah. I can really relate to this guy because I had this problem last week. That's what people want to hear, and that's the same thing like what Jay was just saying about we don't always want to hear play world. We want to hear the Goody Mob, you know, the Still Standing, and we want to hear the Outkast Liberation or the Outkast Equemini. Or we want to hear that stuff because when you, at the end of the day, when it's all over and you sit down, you're still a person and you have these same thoughts just like everybody else.
Well, it kind of goes into, too, these major record labels getting these acts when they start up, having them do their own thing. Mm-hmm. And then once they're there, they're like, no, you need to rap about this. Your music has to sound like this. Mm-hmm. Music is alive and well. It's just, it's a little, you know, you got to dig.
Yeah, it is. But for me personally, if it wasn't major or anything, don't sign me, then change me. You sign me because what I'm doing. Don't sign me for what I'm doing, then make me do this. You get somebody else to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tap dance to that.
That's
Or why you call me?
that's what
I
makes
just-
you think
yeah.
it's an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
How does a guy like Dave Chappelle create this frenzy on being diverse and reaching every single race and creed that you could possibly reach, and then you want to change it? You've created the fan base for the money. So the other question is why is the change? It's deeper than money.
Yeah.
It's about mind control. It really is, because you could use one artist to put out all these songs.
Yeah.
So why are you using different people to do it?
Do the same.
You're using different people to come on one accord. Because I could use him if we all.
Because I want his fan base.
Exactly.
He appeals to these people.
Exactly.
So I want to get him just so I can get to that crowd.
Exactly.
Because I can't get him.
Exactly.
That's like with school. If I'm gonna be a popular kid, I'm gonna hang with one of the popular. Maybe he'll bring me on in into the fold, and I'll be cool. But at the end of the day, they gonna still look at you because they know the truth. You're not one of us. So your fan base is not gonna fall for that. Really, you're gonna get shunned because they know this is not you. You playing the game now. So be yourself. That's my advice to everybody, artists, whoever you are.
The fear
Be
in that,
yourself.
the fear in that, people have great fear in that because no glory comes in that. Because the originators are far and few in between, and you have to have so much determination and work ethic to continue to break down barriers. And most people don't have the work ethic or the mental strength or the mental capacity, or, they're missing one of them. And that's discouraging. So you get to, I always use this analogy. If I go out to a club, a lot of people spend their time in party worlds because it's fantasy. I can be who I want. I can stay underground for a whole week, work a crappy job, get paid, go out, blow money for 2 days, $200 each night, get paid, and in that club, I spend $200, I can be whoever I want to be. If I'm not that person after that night, I go back underground, work, come back out. See, the thing is who are you during the working hours? That's like the whole thing. That really separates the lie from the job. Who are you during the working hours? It's just a false sense of security. And that's something also that's big in my area, in my neighborhood where I came up. It's a false sense of security. I don't want to get out here and have to compete and contend with so many different people, because the playing field is broader and the competition is thicker. So if I narrow it down to the people that's less successful, then I stand a chance of standing out. That's just the way it is.
Definitely. So if money was not an option, just not an issue at all, what would the first thing you guys do as an artist with this money?
First thing I would do, I ain't gonna even lie, I'm gonna relax for a second. It's gonna been a long struggle to get to this point.
A never-ending struggle.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, and it's gonna be a struggle after that point. First thing I'm gonna do is relax and contemplate the next move. Basically, I want people to empower themselves. Like me, if I succeed, that to me that's a statement. I can make it. So if you have a dream, I want people to fulfill their dreams. Like an idea of mine personally was I want to have like a voucher system for women with kids or whatever, for daycare. Because a lot of women say, well, I can't do this because I got to watch my kids and this and that, and but you can do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to take that excuse away from you. All right, I'll pay for your daycare. I'll give you this voucher. As long as you working, you go to school, you pursuing your dream, I'll take that burden off you. If I got to open up daycares to do that, 24 hours, security cameras, you can check on them, whatever you want to do, that's something that me personally I would like to do. So you can empower yourself, because the first thing a child knows is their mother. So good or bad, if you have a strong mother, that's going to be a strong foundation. So my mother was a strong woman, so I look up to her a lot.